What if the vegetables in your fridge, yes, even the ones you think are heart healthy, are silently damaging your joints, spiking your blood sugar, and putting your heart at risk? New clinical research reveals a shocking truth. Not all vegetables are safe after 60. Some may even raise your risk of death by over 83%. And most seniors have no idea. But here's the good news. There are also vegetables that can slash inflammation, sharpen your memory, and add years to your life. The key is knowing which to eat and which to never touch again. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Senior Health Boost, where we cut through the confusion and bring you science-backed tips to stay strong, sharp, and independent after 60. In today's video, we're breaking down the 4 vegetables you must eat daily, and the 4 you should avoid at all costs, ranked from least to most powerful or dangerous, and the number 1 worst vegetable. It's probably already sitting in your kitchen right now, and one major study found it could increase your risk of heart failure by 91%, so stick with us to the end. This one could change how you eat forever. Before we dive in, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from today? We love seeing how far this health-boosting message is reaching. Let's get started with the vegetables that help you thrive after 60. Number 4. Purple cabbage. It might look like just another crunchy vegetable, but purple cabbage is one of the most underrated anti-inflammatory powerhouses for seniors. What gives it that vibrant violet color? Anthocyanins, a type of antioxidant that circulates through your bloodstream, neutralizing free radicals that break down your cells and accelerate aging. But it's not just pretty to look at. This veggie gets real results. A 2020 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who regularly consumed anthocyanin-rich vegetables, like purple cabbage, had a 24% lower risk of heart disease than those who didn't. That's not a minor boost, that's potentially life-saving, but the benefits go far beyond your heart. Purple cabbage is also loaded with fiber and natural prebiotics, which nourish the good bacteria in your gut. And after 60, gut health becomes mission critical. Why? Because it controls so much more than digestion. It influences your immunity, inflammation, energy levels, even your mood. A healthy gut means fewer infections, less bloating, and better nutrient absorption from everything else you eat. That's huge. So, what's the best way to eat it? Keep it raw or lightly cooked to preserve the powerful anthocyanins. Overcooking will break them down. Try shredding it into salads, tossing it into coleslaw, or mixing it with a little olive oil and apple cider vinegar. That combo not only enhances the flavor, it actually helps your body absorb more of the nutrients. Prefer something warm? Stir-frying it for just a few minutes with garlic or turmeric gives it a flavorful anti-inflammatory upgrade. Here's the kicker. Purple cabbage is cheap, easy to find, and lasts for weeks in the fridge. For something so humble, it offers an incredible return, especially for seniors dealing with joint pain, high blood pressure, or sluggish digestion. It may not be flashy, but it works where it matters most. Number 3. Okra. Let's talk about a veggie that gets overlooked. Okra. Sure, some folks turn away from it because of its slimy texture, but for seniors, okra is a blood sugar champion, and that's a big deal. Inside each green pod is a gel-like fiber called mucilage. It may sound strange, but this fiber is exactly what your aging body needs. It slows down how quickly sugar is absorbed in your gut, preventing sharp blood sugar spikes. Why does that matter? Because as we get older, our insulin sensitivity declines. That means your body has a harder time removing sugar from your bloodstream, leading to damage in your blood vessels, nerves, kidneys, and heart. If left unchecked, it can develop into type 2 diabetes or make existing issues worse, but okra helps turn that around. A 2021 study in Food Science and Nutrition found that people who ate okra daily for just 8 weeks saw their fasting blood sugar drop by over 20%. That's comparable to results from certain medications without the side effects, and it doesn't stop there. Okra is rich in quercetin and flavonoids, which protect your brain from oxidative stress, ideal for anyone dealing with brain fog, memory slips, or early cognitive decline. It's also packed with vitamin K, essential for healthy blood clotting and strong bones, something every senior should care about. And let's not forget the folate, which supports red blood cell formation and keeps your energy levels up. So how do you eat it without dealing with the sliminess? Try light steaming or adding it to stews and soups. That softens the texture while preserving nutrients. Want it crispier? Roast it, slice it, toss with olive oil and sea salt, and bake at high heat. You'll get the fiber, the blood sugar benefits, and the antioxidants in one delicious bite. Okra might not be love at first sight, but once you know how it supports your heart, brain, and metabolism, it's worth keeping on your plate. Now that we've covered purple cabbage and okra, 2 of the most powerful yet overlooked vegetables for people over 60, to get ready to meet the next one. It's not just colorful, it can actually open up your blood vessels, improve circulation, and sharpen your thinking in just weeks. Let's talk about beetroot, coming up next on Senior Health Boost. Following up on what we've just learned about okra, let's continue exploring the best vegetables for seniors, moving into even more powerful territory with beetroot and kale, 2 vegetables that are as nutrient-rich as they are transformative. Number 2. Beetroot. This vibrant red root vegetable doesn't just add color to your plate. It plays a vital role in supporting cardiovascular health, brain function, and energy metabolism, all of which become more critical as we age. Beetroot is naturally high in dietary nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule that signals your blood vessels to relax and widen. Why does that matter? Because as we get older, our arteries naturally stiffen. This can lead to high blood pressure, reduced circulation, and added strain on the heart. But nitric oxide works like a natural vasodilator. It opens those narrowed pathways and restores smoother blood flow. In fact, a 2019 clinical study published in Hypertension, research showed that seniors who drank beetroot juice every day for 4 weeks saw an average drop of 11 points in systolic blood pressure. That's the kind of change that could reduce your heart attack risk dramatically, but the benefits of beetroot don't stop at your heart. Better circulation also means better delivery of oxygen and nutrients to your brain. And in older adults, that translates to improved cognitive performance. A2017 study in the Journals of Gerontology found that seniors who consumed beetroot before exercise had increased blood flow to the frontal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, focus, and memory. If you've ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went in, you know how important this is. Beetroot is also rich in beta-alanase, a unique group of antioxidants known for their anti-inflammatory properties. This is crucial for seniors dealing with joint pain, arthritis, or any kind of chronic inflammation that slows you down. On top of that, beets are loaded with folate and manganese. Folate helps form red blood cells and supports cellular repair, while manganese plays a key role in bone health and converting food into usable energy. Now, how do you get these benefits without losing the nutrients? Roasting beets in the oven until they're tender is one of the best ways. It enhances their natural sweetness and keeps their nutritional profile intact. You can also slice pre-cooked vacuum-sealed beets, which are widely available in salads or grain bowls, or blend them into smoothies with a bit of apple and ginger for a refreshing, detoxifying drink. Just make sure if you go the juice route, it's 100% pure beet juice with no added sugars or preservatives. Next up, number 1, kale. Kale isn't just a trendy soup dough for seniors. It might be the single most important vegetable to eat daily. Why? Because it targets multiple systems in your body all at once: eyes, heart, brain, bones, and even your immune system. Let's start with the eyes and brain. Kale is packed with lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 powerful carotenoids that act as natural filters for your eyes, protecting them from harmful blue light. These pigments are stored in the macula, the central part of your retina, and help reduce your risk of age-related macular degeneration, which is the leading cause of vision loss in seniors. But they do more than protect your eyesight. A 2020 study in Neurology found that seniors who consumed high amounts of lutein and zeaxanthin experienced a 32% slower rate of cognitive decline. That means better memory retention, quicker thinking, and more independence as you get older. But kale doesn't stop there. It's also rich in potassium, which helps balance out the excess sodium most seniors consume, an important factor in lowering blood pressure. Its magnesium content supports steady heart rhythms and reduces the risk of arrhythmias. And with over 600% of your daily recommended intake of vitamin K per cup, kale helps keep your bones strong and prevents arterial calcification, where calcium builds up in the wrong places, like blood vessels, instead of your skeleton. Kale is also a strong anti-inflammatory food. Compounds like camphorol and glucosinolates go deep into your cells and help stop chronic inflammation before it starts. And that matters because inflammation is at the root of so many age-related diseases: diabetes, Alzheimer's, cardiovascular disease, and even joint degeneration. So, what's the best way to prepare kale for maximum benefit? Avoid eating it raw in large amounts. While raw kale is fine occasionally, too much of it can interfere with thyroid function, especially if you already have thyroid concerns. The best option: light cooking. Saute kale in olive oil with garlic for just a few minutes to soften the leaves and preserve the nutrients. You can also steam it lightly or add it to soups and stews. For a crunchy snack alternative, try homemade kale chips. Tear the leaves into pieces, drizzle with olive oil, sprinkle sea salt, and bake until crisp. Kale is affordable, easy to find, and incredibly versatile. It stores well in the fridge, making it a smart staple for any senior looking to invest in long-term health. For brain sharpness, joint comfort, immune resilience, and heart strength, kale is the kind of food that gives back every time you eat it. Now that we've explored the 4 vegetables that truly support senior vitality, it's time to flip the script. In the next section, we'll uncover the 4 vegetables you should never touch after 60 because, despite their reputation, some of these are doing more harm than good. Let's dive into the darker side of the produce aisle. Continuing from the benefits of kale, let's now turn to a critical truth many seniors overlook. Not all vegetables support your health equally. In fact, some of the most common vegetables can actively harm your body after 60. The next 4 vegetables may seem harmless, but they come with hidden risks that grow more dangerous as we age. Let's start with number 4 on the list. Corn. Might look innocent, especially as part of classic dishes like corn on the cob or vegetable soup, but once you pass 60, corn becomes a stealth threat to your blood sugar, energy levels, and cardiovascular health. Why? Because corn is a high glycemic vegetable. That means it rapidly spikes blood sugar levels, even faster than some sugary breakfast cereals. When blood sugar spikes like this, insulin surges to bring it back down. Over time, especially with age-related changes, this cycle wears out your insulin sensitivity, pushing you closer to insulin resistance and eventually type 2 diabetes. A 2020 study published in Diabetes Care found that older adults who regularly consumed high glycemic vegetables like corn had a 46% higher risk of developing insulin resistance and cardiovascular complications. To make matters worse, corn doesn't provide the long-lasting energy you'd get from complex carbs like lentils or quinoa. Instead, it gives you a quick burst followed by an energy crash. That crash can confuse your body's hormonal system, cause fatigue, and place unnecessary stress on your heart. What should you do if corn is already part of your regular meals? Portion control is key. Corn isn't inherently toxic, but for seniors, it shouldn't be a dietary staple. Reduce your intake, and when you do eat it, avoid creamed corn, canned varieties with added sugars, or anything labeled sweet corn, which has even higher sugar content due to selective breeding. A better swap: reach for cauliflower or zucchini low glycemic alternatives that offer fiber, vitamins, and blood sugar stability without the crash. Moving on to number 3, potatoes. Potatoes are often thought of as the ultimate comfort food. Mashed, fried, roasted, they're familiar, satisfying, and inexpensive. But for seniors, they can become a hidden health risk. Why? Because potatoes are starchy and extremely high on the glycemic index. That means they cause a sharp spike in blood sugar levels shortly after eating, triggering the same insulin surge and crash pattern we discussed with corn. Over time, this cycle strains the pancreas, weakens insulin sensitivity, and contributes to dangerous fat accumulation around the organs. A major study published in the BMJ followed more than 70,000 adults and found that those who consumed potatoes 4 or more times per week had a 33% higher risk of developing high blood pressure. And high blood pressure is a major red flag after 60, especially for those already on cardiovascular medications. In addition, potatoes lack the protective nutrients found in more colorful vegetables. Unless you eat the skin, which most people don't, you miss out on fiber, and what remains is a fast-digesting starch. Worse still is the way most people prepare them: frying, mashing with butter, or loading them with salt. These methods add saturated fat and sodium, turning a bland starch into a cardiovascular threat. One lesser-known danger is the formation of acrylamides, toxic compounds that form when potatoes are cooked at high heat, like frying. These compounds have been linked to inflammation in the arteries, increasing the risk of heart attack and stroke. And even when boiled, potatoes release glucose rapidly, causing the same sharp blood sugar rise and crash. If you're already dealing with energy slumps, fatigue, or stubborn belly weight, potatoes could be playing a bigger role than you think. What's the solution? You don't have to eliminate potatoes entirely. They can be part of a balanced diet if treated like an occasional indulgence, not a daily habit. Consider swapping them out with sweet potatoes now and then. Sweet potatoes are lower on the glycemic index and provide more fiber, antioxidants, and nutrients like beta-carotene. When you do eat potatoes, bake or roast them with the skin on, and avoid pairing them with salt or cheese. And skip the fries, they're among the worst offenders when it comes to artery damage. After 60, every bite has an impact. And while potatoes are tasty and comforting, their effects on blood sugar, blood pressure, and inflammation make them one of the riskiest vegetables for older adults. Up next, we'll uncover number 2, a vegetable often celebrated for its low calories, but with hidden compounds that can wreak havoc on seniors with arthritis, nerve pain, or kidney issues. Let's take a closer look at eggplant. Let's finish strong. We just explored how potatoes and eggplant, 2 commonly consumed vegetables, can quietly chip away at your health after 60, but the final vegetable on our list takes that risk to a whole new level. Number 1, canned tomatoes. Now you might be thinking, tomatoes? Really? Aren't they full of antioxidants and great for your heart? Yes, fresh tomatoes? But canned tomatoes are a different story entirely, you see. The danger of canned tomatoes has less to do with the vegetable itself and everything to do with the container they come in. Most cans are lined with a chemical called BPA bisphenol, used to prevent rust and extend shelf life. But here's the catch. BPA is a known endocrine disruptor. That means it interferes with your body's hormonal system, throwing off levels of estrogen and testosterone, which are already in natural decline as we age. That hormonal imbalance can lead to a cascade of serious issues: weight gain, fatigue, mood swings, and even arrhythmias. And it doesn't take years of exposure to see the effects. One 2020 study published in Environmental Research showed that adults with the highest BPA levels in their blood had a 91% greater risk of developing heart disease. Canned tomatoes make this even worse because they're acidic. That acidity causes the BPA to leach out of the can lining and directly into the tomatoes. So, while you think you're getting healthy, lycopene and vitamin C, you're also swallowing a chemical that's been linked to cancer, heart failure, and hormonal chaos. And there's more. Canned tomato products are typically loaded with sodium. Just 1 cup of canned tomato sauce can contain more than 500 milligrams of salt, nearly 25% of your daily recommended limit. When you combine that with how frequently tomato sauce is used in pasta dishes, soups, and stews, you're quickly hitting excessive sodium levels without realizing it. Excess sodium isn't just about puffiness or bloating. For seniors, high sodium intake is a direct ticket to increased blood pressure, arterial stiffness, kidney overload, and greater risk of stroke or heart attack, especially if you're already on heart medications. So what should you do? First, if you enjoy tomato-based dishes, you don't have to cut them out entirely. Just make smarter swaps. Switch to glass-jarred tomato sauces, which avoid BPA entirely. Look for BPA-free cans, but be cautious. Even BPA-free cans can contain alternative chemicals that haven't been fully studied. Better yet, make your own tomato sauce at home using fresh tomatoes. Roast them with olive oil, garlic, and basil to unlock their natural sweetness and preserve all the heart-healthy lycopene. Always rinse any canned tomatoes you do use to reduce sodium. The goal is simple: protect your body from invisible toxins hiding in plain sight. And now that you know the truth about canned tomatoes, let's take a step back. We've covered the 4 vegetables that build strength, balance hormones, reduce inflammation, and support your brain: purple cabbage, okra, beetroot, and kale. These are your allies. We've also uncovered the 4 vegetables that, while seemingly harmless, can silently sabotage your health after 60: corn, potatoes, eggplant, and canned tomatoes. Some of them spike blood sugar, others increase blood pressure, some burden your liver and kidneys, and others stir up chronic inflammation that speeds up aging from the inside out. After 60, every meal matters more than it did in your 30s or 40s. Every bite is either a step toward vitality or decline. And when you're armed with real science information, you can make the choices that help you stay mobile, independent, and sharp for years to come. So now we want to hear from you. Which vegetables surprised you the most today? Drop your answer in the comments. We read every one. And if this video opened your eyes or gave you a new strategy to protect your health, please take a moment to click the like button and hit subscribe to Senior Health Boost. We post videos like this every week to help you eat smarter, move better, and age stronger with confidence. Because your future health isn't about fads or guesswork. It's about knowing what works, why it works, and how to make it part of your daily life. Thanks for watching. Stay strong, stay sharp, and we'll see you in the next video.